Honourable members, it is with immense pride that I refer to the outstanding achievement of the Indian Under-19 cricket team in winning the ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup at Hazare, Zimbabwe, defeating England team by a commanding margin and bringing great honour to the nation. This remarkable effort, which is a record extending 6th Under-19 World Cup title, once again highlights the depth of talent, commitment and the sporting excellence among our youth. Honourable members, I always applaud teamwork, and while this success belongs to the entire team, I would also like to place on record special appreciation for the young prodigy Vaibhav Suryavanshi ji, who scored an extraordinary 175 runs, highest ever in the Under-19 Cricket World Cup finals. Brilliant individual performances by his colleagues in the run-up to the final were truly inspiring and reflect the promise of a bright future. On my own behalf and on behalf of this House, I extend heartiest congratulations to the captain, players, coaches and the entire support staff, and wish these young champions many more laurels in the years to come. Papers to be laid on the table. Sriman Sripat Yeso Nayak.
I rise to lay paper on the table of the House on behalf of my colleague, Sri Rao Injit Singh ji, mentioned at serial number 1A in today's list of business.
Sriman Sripat Yeso Nayak ji, again.
Sir, I rise to lay on the table of the House the paper mentioning my name at serial number 1B of today's list of business.
Susri Sobha Karantala ji.
चेयरमैन सर, आज का कार्यसूची में मेरा नाम के सामने वर्णित दस्तावेज सदन के पटल पर रखती हूँ.
श्रीमान राजभूषण चौधरी जी.
Honorable Chairman sir, with your kind permission, I rise to lay the papers on the table of House on behalf of my colleague Sri Tokhan Sahu, Minister of State for Housing and Urban Affairs, as mentioned against his name at serial number 1D in the list of business for today.
Sriman Rajbhujan Chaudhary ji, again.
Honorable Chairman sir, with your kind permission, I rise to lay the paper on the table of House listed against my name at serial number 1E in the list of business for today.
Sriman Rajbhushan Chaudhary ji, again.
Honorable Chairman sir, with your kind permission, I rise to lay the paper on the table of House on behalf of my colleague Sri Murlidhar Mahol, Minister of State for Civil Aviation, as mentioned against his name at serial number 1F in the list of business for today.
Sriman Rajbhushan Chaudhary ji, again.
Honorable Chairman sir, with your kind permission, on behalf of my colleague Sri Satish Chand Dubey, Minister of State for Coal and Mines, I rise to lay on the table under clause 2 of section 19A of the Controller and Auditors General's Duties, Power and Condition of Service Act 1971, a copy in English and Hindi of the report of the Controller and Auditor General of India on operational performance of NLC India Limited, Union Government, Ministry of Coal, number 35 of 2025, performance audit commercial. Thank you, sir.
Laying of CAG report, Sriman Rajbhushan Chaudhary ji. Now matters rise with permission. No, we will discuss everything later. Let us not disturb.
Sir, please. One very important, please. Under Rule 187, 188, 119, I have given a notice of breach of privilege against the Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal ji, sir, that he has given an interview with regard to the policy decision of the government outside the house when the parliament was in sessions. It amounts to breach of privilege of this house, sir, and I said already it's a propriety of the house, sir.
Now, this has been already discussed. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me complete 1 minute. This has been already discussed. He has been already made the statement in the House. We will look into it later.
Sir, what he has given outside.
Sudha Murthy ji.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, giving me time to speak. Sir, climate change is not in our hands.
I am telling now. We will go through it later. Please, Baitia, let the House be running with usual business.
Affect our heritage sites, sir. So, heritage sites. Heritage sites are very important. You tell, sir.
Please.
Sir, heritage sites are very important to us.
No, nothing will go on record except Srimati Sudha Murthy's speech. Please, this has been widely discussed on that day. This has been widely discussed on that day. The decision has been taken on that day. Let me consider it later, please. Don't disturb the House, please. Srimati Sudha Murthy, please continue.
Yeah, in this regard, I want to talk about what happens in the climate change. Number one, there is erratic rainfall. Number two, there is earthquake. Number three, there are...
Please, Garge ji, you are a very elderly person. Please take your seat. Let the House be run. Let the House be run with its usual business, please.
Our heritage.
Every time you are raising the same matter, how I can agree? Please.
For example, let us look at our heritage sites like Konark or
Nothing will go on record except Srimati Sudha Murthy's speech. Please, Baitia. Please, Baitia. I am listening to you. We have already discussed. Again and again, we cannot discuss the same matter. Please take your seat.
There are Western Ghats and there are also lakes and
I am protecting the democracy. That's why I allowed you to speak on that day. A decision has been taken on that day.
The excess heat.
Let me look into it. Let me look into it.
Temperatures and humidity will destroy our paintings, which are time immemorial.
So, but you are right. You cannot disturb the House running the usual
of our country. Some policy should be made.
That's why I told you. He has raised it. I have told you. I will come back to you later. Please.
Protection of these heritage sites against the natural calamities and climate change. Second one, there should be a resilience way of protecting them. Third one is control on the vegetation near riverbed monuments. Number four, our ancestors always had a mango grove before the village, which is on seashore, which we have forgotten. By doing that, we can save our national monuments by cyclone. Number five, the Himalayan mountains are very delicate by nature, so inroad and excessive tourism should not be done because it is not good for the national heritage, particularly forts. Coming to a place like Rajasthan, where there is less rain due to climate change, there will be excessive rain, and the drainage system is not designed for that. So we should take care that in such area, modern methodology should be used in case of the climate change. Fourth one, where there is excessive heat and the monuments are open, then we should have a
Srima Tiruchi Shivaji.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sir, in the year 2019, the India government passed Code on Wages Bill in 2019, and 3 more codes, that is on Code on Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions, Code on Social Security and Code on Occupational Safety. Code on Industrial Relations were passed in 2020, sir. Since it was passed during the pandemic period, no discussions were taken elaborately. Now that there is these 4 codes subsume already existing 29 laws, including the Industrial Disputes Act and the Factories Act, sir. Sir, though the Union government has framed these rules under in the notification in November 2025, since labor comes under the concurrent list, the states also should frame rules and notify it. Otherwise, it cannot be implemented, sir. Any law without taking into consideration the concerns of the stakeholders cannot be implemented at all. Now that the central trade unions are making great protest, they are not agreeing it. Except 4 states are ruled by BJP in Gujarat, Bihar and some Arunachal Pradesh. All other states have not agreed to frame rules on this because it is against the safety and welfare of the laborers. Now there is a big issue about that, sir. So the present situation, there is no labor law to protect the labor class, since all the earlier laws were subsumed in the courts and the courts are not implementable. Sir, in the absence of Industrial Disputes Act and the Factories Acts, various business and laborers are at distress and they are not able to resolve the issue. Sir, the Central Trade Union has announced a protest on February 12th, sir, which will be very serious. So I urge the government to take this seriously and repeal these 4 courts. And the Labour Minister should immediately convene the Indian Labour Conference and to discuss comprehensively, taking into confidence and consideration all the labour union in the country and then redraft the rules, sir. Otherwise, sir, it will end up like the farm bills which has happened, because it affects the labours across the country, and what the courts that have come now in place of the earlier laws, I have not served the purpose, sir. So kindly consider it very seriously with the concern of the employees and labourers and the business in the country, sir. So this is my submission. So this is not just a zero-hour mention, it is about the protest that is going to take place on 12th. Whole India is going to protest against it, sir. So kindly, the government should take it seriously, repeal these courts and redraft the rules, sir. Thank you very much.
Shriman Satpal Sarma ji. Okay. Shriman Satpal Sarma
Thank
ji.
you. Thank you, Chairman, sir. Honorable Chairman, sir, certain amendments were introduced by the Finance Act 24 to Section 200, subsection 3 of the Income Tax Act 1961. These amendments, effective from April 1st, 25, impose a 6-year time limit for filing TDS correction statements, calculated from the end of the financial year in which the original statement was required to be furnished. Honorable Sir, prior to this, there was no statutory time limit, allowing indefinite revisions for genuine errors like incorrect PAN details, challan mismatches, or clerical mistakes. Sir, for TDS statements relating to financial years prior to 18-19, the 6-year window had largely expired by March 31st, 25 in most of the cases. As a result, corrections for this period became barred after that date, aligning with the latest description of restrictions effective post-March 31st, 25. This has indeed led to reported hardships, including deductees not receiving proper TDS credit in Form 26AS, resulting in inflated tax demands or delayed / refused refunds. For the deductors facing demand for short deductions, interest penalties under Section 201 and 220, and the potential prosecution or litigation despite having deducted and deposited the tax correctly. Sir, these issues can arise even when the tax was duly paid, as mismatches prevent proper credit allocation. Chairman, sir, the suggestion for one-time relief, condonation window or guidelines under Section 119 of the Income Tax Act 1961 is appropriate. Section 119 empowers the CBDT to issue orders, instructions or directions to relax provisions in case of genuine hardships, including for classes of persons or income. While no such specific relief has been announced for pre-financial year 18-19 periods of now, similar condonations have been already granted in the past for the TDS-related issues by the CBDT from time to time. Such relaxation can be given. I think it is available. Thank you very much.
श्रीमान अमरपाल मौर्य जी।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय। आज मैं आपके माध्यम से इस सदन का ध्यान एक अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण विषय की ओर आकृष्ट करना चाहता हूं, जो भारत की लोकतांत्रिक प्रणाली, जन प्रतिनिधित्व की गरिमा तथा नागरिकों के साथ संवाद की मूल भावना से प्रत्यक्ष रूप से जुड़ा हुआ है। महोदय, क्षेत्र में विधायकों एवं सांसदों के लिए एमएलसी, राज्यसभा, इन सभी जनप्रतिनिधियों के लिए स्थायी कार्यालय की व्यवस्था के संदर्भ में महोदय, मैं आपके माध्यम से बताना चाहता हूं कि ग्राम सभा है, उसका अपना एक कार्यालय है, ब्लॉक के केंद्र हैं, उनके भी अपने कार्यालय हैं, जिला पंचायत के केंद्र हैं, उनके भी स्थायी कार्यालय हैं, पर सांसदों, विधायक, एमएलसी या राज्यसभा, इनके स्थायी कार्यालय की व्यवस्था एक निश्चित नहीं है। कुछ सरकारें हैं, कुछ स्थान हैं जहां पर व्यवस्थाएं भी है, या विकास भवनों में एक कक्ष अलॉट कर दिए जाते हैं, ना वहां पर कंप्यूटर की व्यवस्थाएं होती हैं, और जो समाज में चुन करके जनता के बीच में आता है, या तो अपने घर में एक ऑफिस खोल लेता है, लेकिन वो लाखों की जनता होती है, और कई बार 5 साल विधायक सांसद कोई और होता है और 5 साल बाद कोई और हो जाता है। और पीछे देश की आजादी के बाद से कई बार ऐसी विधानसभाएं, लोकसभाएं हैं जो हर बार बदलती रहती हैं। उस क्षेत्र की जनता को आज तक ये नहीं समझ में कई बार आ पाता है कि उसका अपना विधायक का, सांसद का जाने का, कार्यालय का स्थायी कौन सी व्यवस्था है। तो थोड़ा सा मन में एक संकोच होता है। दूसरा, पत्र लिखा, पत्राचार, एक सांसद वर्तमान में रहा और बाद में वो जो है चेंज हो अगली बार में, तो कोई पत्राचार किया तो बाद में उसका डेटा कुछ नहीं रहता, लेकिन कहीं पर थाने में कोई एफआईआर हो जाए या कलेक्टर बदल जाता है, एसडीएम बदल जाता है, तो वो सारा संरक्षण डेटा उसके साथ में रहता है। तो मैं महोदय आपके माध्यम से कहना चाहता हूं कि अगर सांसदों, विधायकों की जो समाज के लिए, देश के लिए कानून निर्माण में सहायक होते हैं, उनकी स्थायी व्यवस्था होगी, और वहां पर आने वाली जो जनता है, उनके दिए गए डॉक्यूमेंट से जो कागजात हैं, उनको अगर हम ठीक से जो है डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करके शासन को अगर हम भेजेंगे, तो उनकी व्यवस्था में, उनके काम को करने में एक सिद्धि प्राप्त होगी, और उनको भी एक शासन के द्वारा जो कार्यालय होता है और एक प्राइवेट के द्वारा जब कार्यालय होता है, तो वहां जाने में जनता को किसी भी प्रकार का संकोच नहीं होता, क्योंकि पार्टियां अलग अलग से होती हैं। हर प्रदेश में अलग अलग पार्टियां हैं, कहीं 2 पार्टियां हैं, कहीं 4 पार्टियां हैं। तो उस जनता को न्याय अगर हमको देना है, मोदी सरकार आज रिफॉर्म के लिए जानी जा रही है, अन्य व्यवस्थाओं को, बहुत सारे देश में सुधार हो रहे हैं। मैं आपके माध्यम से चाहता हूं कि ये सुधार भी इस व्यवस्था में सांसदों, विधायकों के कार्यालय के होंगे तो बहुत न्यायपूर्ण होगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
बराला जी,
मैं आपके माध्यम से
श्रीमान सुभाष बराला जी
एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय की ओर दिलाना चाहता हूं। ये केवल हरियाणा नहीं, पूरे देश की समस्या है, और ये समस्या स्वास्थ्य एवं कृषि संकट की ओर आकर्षित करती है। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, केंद्रीय भूजल बोर्ड की रिपोर्ट के अनुसार जो हमारा भूमिगत जल है, उसमें आर्सेनिक की मात्रा लगातार बढ़ती जा रही है, जो निर्धारित सीमा से काफी ज्यादा है। हरियाणा की अगर रिपोर्ट की बात करें तो 18 जिलों में इस प्रकार की रिपोर्ट आई है, जिसके कारण से जो भूमिगत जल है उसमें आर्सेनिक की मात्रा इतनी अधिक है कि जिसके कारण से गंभीर स्वास्थ्य संबंधी समस्याएं खड़ी होती दिख रही हैं। इसके कारण से कैंसर रोग, हृदय रोग, त्वचा रोग व बच्चों के अंदर कई प्रकार की बीमारियां जैसे मानसिक विकार आदि की संभावनाएं दिखाई देती हैं, और साथ ही मिट्टी की जो उपजाऊ क्षमता है उसके ऊपर भी इसका गहरा असर दिखाई देता है। और यह स्थिति केवल, जैसे मैंने कहा, कृषि तक सीमित नहीं है, यह स्वास्थ्य संबंधी भी बहुत बड़ी समस्या बनती दिखाई दे रही है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में कृषि क्षेत्र के अंदर एवं जल संरक्षण की योजनाओं के ऊपर पूरे देश में बहुत काम हुआ है, जिसके लिए मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद एवं आभार प्रकट करता हूं। किंतु इस मूक संकट से निपटने के लिए ठोस कदम उठाने की बहुत आवश्यकता है। इसके लिए मैं केंद्र सरकार से अनुरोध करता हूं कि निम्न बातों के ऊपर ध्यान देना चाहिए। एक तो प्रभावित क्षेत्रों के अंदर नहरी एवं सतही जल सिंचाई परियोजनाओं को अतिशीघ्र पूरा किया जाए। हरियाणा में बहुत एक अच्छी योजना चली थी, मेरा पानी मेरी विरासत। इस प्रकार की योजना को और ज्यादा मजबूत करने के लिए केंद्र सरकार से मदद दी जाए। इसी प्रकार से ICAR द्वारा कम आर्सेनिक अवशोषण वाली फसलों की किस्मों के ऊपर अनुसंधान पर जोर दिया जाए और हरियाणा जैसे क्षेत्र जहां पर सेमग्रस्त पानी ज्यादा है उसकी निकासी के प्रबंध किए जाए। मान्यवर, यही अनुरोध मैं आपके माध्यम से केंद्र सरकार से करना चाहता हूं। आपने समय दिया, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
डॉक्टर M. तंबिदुरई जी, श्रीमती प्रियंका चतुर्वेदी जी।
Sir, thank you so much. Sir, I rise to draw the attention of this House to a matter of grave environmental and public safety concern regarding the recent approval granted by the Maharashtra government for a private iron ore mining company in the Tadoba Tiger Corridor, a decision that defies both environmental prudence and its own expert committee's recommendations. Sir, in October 2024, a 3-member committee was formed by the State Wildlife Board, which was to check the proposal that came from a private limited company that would create 120 jobs for that people in the region, out of which only 32 would be permanent. And in their detailed submission, these 3 experts had said any mining in this forest will cause irreversible damage to the environment and wildlife. Therefore, the project is not recommended. Ignoring this recommendation, the State Wildlife Board has allowed this proposal to go through and has sent this request to the National Wildlife Board for permission. Sir, my party leader, Shri Aditya Thackeray ji, who is the former Environment Minister, has taken this issue up because this will create huge environmental damage in the state of Maharashtra, sir. What is at stake? 18,000 trees across 35 hectares will be broken down. A critical tiger corridor connecting India's largest national park, home to 250 of our country's approximately 4,000 tigers, stand to be a problem. Over 650 villages facing an increased threat of human-tiger conflict. The habitat of 60+ tigers, along with leopards, bears, wild dogs and countless other species will be harmed, sir. Sir, again, when a government's own expert committee unanimously opposes the project, citing irreversible environmental damage and threat to both wildlife and human lives, on what scientific or ethical grounds has this approval been granted, sir? Sir, this is not an isolated incident. From the Aravallis to mangrove ecosystems, we are witnessing the systematic dismantling of environmental protections. Today it is Tadoba, tomorrow it could be any other protected forest in our country. Sir, through you I request the Environment Minister to deny this approval and not allow the Tadoba Tiger Corridor also to be damaged and the ecosystem to collapse just under the garb of development, which will only create 120 jobs, sir. It's not creating a huge lifeline change or ecosystem change, sir. So please protect our environment and ensure that Tadoba Tiger Corridor is not harmed in any way by these private mining institutions, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Shriman Maharaja Sanjoba Lesamba.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my 0-hour subject is demand for inclusion of Meitei Mayek script alongside Bengali script for the Manipuri optional question paper in UPSC examination. Sir, for the civil service examinations conducted by UPSC, candidates with Manipuri as optional subject are permitted to write answer in either Bengali script or Meitei Mayek script. However, the question paper for the Manipuri optional paper is printed only in Bengali script. This practice is placing the candidates who do not understand the Bengali script at a very disadvantaged situation because Bangla or Bengali script had been completely replaced by Meitei Mayek script for teaching in schools, colleges and universities for the last 20 years or so in Manipur. Consequently, Almost all students have been educated entirely in Meitei Mayek and do not possess functional literacy in the Bengali script. However, UPSC compelled these candidates to read and understand the questions set only in Bengali script, undermining their language proficiency. As a result, many willing candidates are discouraged from opting for Manipuri as their optional subject. It is also to be respectfully stated that there is no academic or technical impediment to print the question paper in Meitei Mayek alongside Bangla script, as is done for other languages with multiple script. The printing of questions in both Bangla and Meitei Mayek will uphold the principles of fairness, inclusivity, and constitutional respect for India's linguistic diversity, and will improve the UPSC examination system. As such, it is demanded that the matter may be brought to the attention of UPSC and concerned authority, and to rectify it at an early date. Thank you, sir.
श्रीमान दीपक प्रकाश जी।
धन्यवाद माननीय सभापति महोदय, मैं आपके माध्यम से सरकार का ध्यान देश की प्राचीनतम संस्कृति के ध्वजवाहक उरांव और संथाली आदिवासी समाज की अस्मिता और उनके पवित्र तीर्थ स्थलों की ओर आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। महोदय, जहां पुरखों की खुशबू है वहां आस्था का डेरा है। वो रोहतासगढ़, वो मुड़मा, वो मारंगबुरु पहचान का सवेरा है। अध्यक्ष महोदय, उरांव समाज का गौरवशाली इतिहास बिहार के रोहतासगढ़ से जुड़ा हुआ है, जो उनकी स्मृतियां का केंद्र है और उनका पवित्र स्थल है, वो उनका आस्था का केंद्र बिंदु है। वहीं रांची के मांडर में स्थित मुड़मा स्थल न केवल एक धार्मिक शक्ति खूंटा है, बल्कि यहाँ से उस पढ़ा परंपरा की शुरुआत हुई थी जिसने आदिवासियों की राजनीतिक, प्रशासनिक और सामाजिक सूत्र में पिरोने का काम किया था। महोदय, आज भी यह स्थल लाखों लोग वहां आते हैं और वहां के आदिवासी लाखों लोगों के वो आस्था का केंद्र बिंदु भी है। इसी प्रकार से संथाल समाज की अटूट आस्था का प्रतीक मारंगबुरु पारसनाथ पहाड़ में स्थित है सर, और यह केवल पर्वत नहीं है बल्कि संथालों का सर्वोच्च देवता और उनके अस्तित्व का पहचान है। लेकिन दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण यह स्थिति है सर, वहाँ आधारभूत संरचना का अभाव है सर, वहाँ पानी, बिजली, सड़क की स्थिति दयनीय है सर। इसलिए मैं अस्तित्व बिना पहचान कहाँ, जड़ बिना कहाँ सम्मान नहीं। आज ये वैश्विक धरोहर बुनियादी सुविधाओं के लिए तरस रही है महोदय। विरासत सुरक्षित रहेगी तभी आदिवासियत बचेगी। मेरी सरकार से मांग है कि मारंगबुरु, मुड़मा और रोहतासगढ़ को एक विशिष्ट सांस्कृतिक कॉरिडोर बना करके आदिवासियत को बचाने का काम करें। धन्यवाद।
श्रीमान केसरी देव सिंह झाला जी।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, आपे मने काठियावाड़ी घोड़ानी नस्ल ने संरक्षण और संवर्धनना महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दाओं पर बोलवानो तक आपी है, बदल हूँ आपनो आभार व्यक्त करूँ छूँ। महोदय, हूँ आज सरकारનું ध्यान काठियावाड़ी घोड़ाओનું संरक्षण और प्रोत्साहन तरफ दौरवा मागू छूँ। आ एक एवी नस्ल, स्वदेशी नस्ल है कि जे मात्र गुजरातનું नहीं पण भारतનું शौर्य और सांस्कृतिक वारसाનું एक प्रतीकरूप है। तेनी अद्भुत शक्ति, कठोर हवामान सामे टकी रहवानी क्षमता और तेनी खास ओळख एवी एनी रेवालचाल, आ अंदरना तरफ वळता एमना कान, आ बधाए आ काठियावाड़ी घोड़ा ने दुनियानी अनोखी जातों एने अनोखो बनावे छे। आ घोड़ाओनी खास करीने युद्धना मैदानमां लांबा समय लड़वा माटे तैयार करवामां आव्या हता। इतिहास साक्षी है कि आ देशनी सुरक्षा माटे जे योद्धाओ, जे शूरवीरोए प्राणना बलिदान आप्या छे, एमनी वार्ता एमना अश्व वगर अधूरी छे। आजे पण आपणा आर्मी ने सिविल डिफेन्स दळोमां अश्वदळनुं घणुं महत्व छे। राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा और सरकारी कार्यक्रम में आपड़ा स्वदेशी नस्लना घोड़ाओं उपयोग करवामां आवे, आ आपड़ा वारसानी साची आदर आपवा समान हशे और आत्मनिर्भरतानुं एक प्रतीकरूप बनशे। परंतु महोदय, क्रॉस ब्रीडिंग और योग्य व्यवस्थाना अभावे आ शुद्ध नस्ल साथे आजे जोखममां मूकवामां आव्युं छे। जो आपणे अत्यारे जागृत नहीं थई तो आ शुद्ध औलाद कायम माटे लुप्त थई शके एम छे। काठियावाड़ी घोड़ाओ अश्व पर्यटन, ग्रामीण रोजगारी और रमतगमत माटे अपार संभावनाओं रहेल छे। जो आपणे घोड़ाओं प्रदर्शन, हरीफाईओ, मेळाओ आयोजन करीए તો તેમાંથી ગ્રામીણ આવક વધશે અને યુવા પેઢી પણ આ વારસાનો સાચવવા માટે પ્રેરિત થશે. અશ્વપાલકો પણ આ વછેરીઓને ઉછેર કરી અને પોતાનું ગુજારણ ચલાવે છે. જો સરકાર આમાં મદદ કરાવે તો એ મુદ્દો આગળ વધે. આપણા વડાપ્રધાન નરેન્દ્રભાઈ મોદી સાહેબ હંમેશા સ્વદેશી ઓલાદોને પ્રોત્સાહન આપવા ભાર મૂકે છે. લશ્કરમાં મુધોલ હાઉન્સ જેવા શ્વાનને પણ ભરતી એનું જીવતું જાગતું ઉદાહરણ છે. દુનિયામાં એકમાત્ર પાલતુ પ્રાણી એવું છે કે જે ઓલિમ્પિક રમતોમાં પણ સામેલ છે. હું સરકારને વિનંતી કરું છું કે ઘોડાઓ માટે એક વ્યાપક નીતિ બનાવવામાં આવે જેમાં પશુપાલકનું હિત જળવાય. અને મારી નમ્ર વિનંતી છે કે ગુજરાત સૌરાષ્ટ્ર વિસ્તારના અંદર નેશનલ રિસર્ચ સેન્ટર અને ઇક્વાઇન એનઆરસીઈનું પ્રાદેશિક કેન્દ્ર ખોલવામાં આવે. આ અસલ નસલના ઘોડાને એક જીઆઈ ટેગના માધ્યમથી પ્રાદેશિક ઓળખ મળે, નકલખોરો સામે પશુપાલકનું હિત રક્ષણ થશે અને આંતરરાષ્ટ્રીય સ્તરે પણ એની ઓળખ વધશે. આ પગલાં લેવાથી આ ભવ્ય નસલ બચાવી શકશું અને કાઠિયાવાડી ઘોડાને ભારતના ગૌરવ અને શક્તિના પ્રતીક તરીકે હંમેશા ગર્વથી
શ્રીમાન હર્ષવર્ધન શ્રીલાજી.
Honorable Sir, I rise to draw the attention of this august House to a matter of urgent public importance that affects the daily lives of thousands of residents of Binabadi Gram Panchayat under Khadibadi block of Fasideva and Darjeeling district. Nearly 50 to 60,000 people, predominantly small and marginal farmers, reside in this region. Although Khadibadi market lies merely 7 to 8 kilometers from the railway crossing, the absence of a rail underpass or gate has become a severe impediment to mobility and livelihood. Farmers are compelled to take a long and costly diversion to transport vegetables and agricultural produce. As a result, by the time they reach the market, prices often fall, causing direct income losses and in many cases loss of valuable produce. This is not merely a matter of economics, it is a serious concern of safety, access and dignity. The rural hospital and higher secondary schools are located across the railway line. During medical emergencies, patients face dangerous delays while school children are forced to cross the railway tracks daily, creating constant anxiety for parents and teachers alike. Sir, under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, railway infrastructure development and the elimination of unsafe crossings have become prioritized nationwide in the interest of public safety. I therefore earnestly request the Ministry of Railways in coordination with the Ministry of Rural Development to urgently sanction and construct a rail underpass or rail gate at the crossings on the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana road in Binagudi Gram Panchayat. This single intervention will significantly enhance agricultural marketing, ensure student safety, improve healthcare access and safeguard lives. Thank you, sir.
Professor Manoj Kumar Jaji.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, sir, for allowing me to raise this very important issue. And I'm very glad that the Leader of the House and Honorable Health Minister is also here. Sir, since the month of September, on account of a deep personal family crisis, I have spent 3 to 4 months in All India Institute of Medical Sciences. So, after coming from there, मैंने एक अंग्रेजी दैनिक में एक लेख भी लिखा कि एम्स अस्पताल महज अस्पताल नहीं है, खास करके एम्स दिल्ली. लेकिन मेरी चिंता उस आलेख में ये भी थी कि जो भी एम्स हमने इनके दौर में या आपके दौर में खोले हैं अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में, वो पेशेंट को होल्ड क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. और अभी भी जिस प्रकार की भीड़, जिस प्रकार की दिक्कतों का सामना करके, देयर इज एब्सोल्यूट मिसमैच ऑनरेबल चेयरमैन सर, जो एक डिमांड है और जो ओपीडी कैपेसिटी है. मैंने वहां के डॉक्टर्स, नर्सेस, सपोर्ट स्टाफ, पैरामेडिक स्टाफ, उनकी जीवन शैली देखी है. एक दिन के अंदर अलग अलग, चूंकि मैं वहां सर 4 महीने रहा, तो मैंने एम्स की सुबह देखी, एम्स की शाम देखी, मौसम को बदलते देखा. लेकिन जो चीज पीड़ादायक थी सर, वो मैं ये बताऊं
कि वहां कई पेशेंट्स को, जो अब ऑनलाइन भी हो गया है तो डेट आगे का मिला करता है, लेकिन वो बीमारी क्रोनिक है, परेशान रहते हैं, वो यहां आ जाते हैं। मैं फिर दोहरा रहा हूं कि एम्स उनके लिए महज एक अस्पताल नहीं है, आखिरी आशा है, लास्ट आइलैंड ऑफ होप। और वैसी परिस्थितियों में शेल्टर होम्स हैं सर, लेकिन मैं सरकार से आग्रह करूंगा कि इसकी कुछ समुचित व्यवस्था सर होनी चाहिए। ऐसा इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूं कि अगर हमने जो बाकी एम्स खोले हैं, अगर उसमें भी उसी लेवल का रिसर्च, उसी लेवल का इंगेजमेंट, उसी लेवल का कंपैशन, उसी लेवल का इंड्योरेंस अगर ये होता तो शायद एम्स दिल्ली में जो वर्कलोड है और जिस प्रकार की जो मैंने कहा कि दिक्कतें हैं सर, एक चीज अक्सर हम नजरअंदाज कर जाते हैं, सरकार में कोई भी हो, जब कोई डेली वेज अर्नर केयर टेकर की भूमिका में होता है एक पेशेंट के, सर वो मेडिकल पॉवर्टी के ट्रैप में फंस जाता है। हमने अक्सर किताबों में पढ़ा स्ट्रक्चरल पॉवर्टी और उस पर हमारा फोकस रहता है, लेकिन मेडिकल पॉवर्टी सर ये विकराल रूप लेती जा रही है। उसके पीछे एक तर्क और भी है सर कि हमारा हेल्थ सेक्टर का झुकाव निजी क्षेत्र की ओर लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है। मेरा निजी से कोई विरोध नहीं है, लेकिन सार्वजनिक उपक्रमों में अगर हमने इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया और वो दायरा नहीं बढ़ाया तो मुश्किल होगी। शुक्रिया आपका बहुत बहुत माननीय सभापति महोदय।
श्रीमान अखिलेश प्रसाद सिंह जी।
थैंक यू चेयरमैन सर, आज आपने लगातार बिहार के लोगों को मौका दिया, इसके लिए मैं आपका धन्यवाद करता हूं। आज भारत अपनी सेमीकंडक्टर आवश्यकताओं का लगभग 85 से 90% आयात करता है, जिसमें देश के इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, ऑटोमोबाइल, दूरसंचार, रक्षा और डिजिटल अर्थव्यवस्था का अत्यधिक रूप से वैश्विक आपूर्ति श्रृंखलाओं पर निर्भर हो गई है। एक मार्केट रिपोर्ट के अनुसार वर्ष 2022 में भारत का घरेलू सेमीकंडक्टर बाजार लगभग 27 अरब अमेरिकी डॉलर का था, जिसके 2030 तक 80 से 100 अरब अमेरिकी डॉलर तक पहुंचने का अनुमान है। यह तेज वृद्धि भारत के लिए एक बड़ा अवसर है, लेकिन साथ ही यह रणनीतिक जोखिम भी उजागर करती है कि जैसा कि कोविड-19 और वैश्विक चिप संकट के दौरान स्पष्ट रूप से देखा गया। इस रणनीतिक कमजोरी को ध्यान में रखते हुए भारत सरकार ने सेमीकॉन इंडिया मिशन की स्थापना की थी, लेकिन बिहार की जो स्थिति है उसमें जो युवा वर्ग है 25 साल से कम है, 7.5 करोड़ युवाओं की आयु वर्ग लगभग 25 साल से नीचे की है। इसलिए हम जो लॉजिस्टिक और केमिकल्स, टूलिंग, पैकेजिंग, रख रखाव, एमएसएमई और सर्विस सेक्टर के माध्यम से 2 से 3 गुना अधिक प्रत्यक्ष रोजगार सृजित होने की संभावना रहती है। बिहार में इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और सेमीकंडक्टर औद्योगिक पार्कों की स्थापना से न केवल क्षेत्रीय असंतुलन कम होगा, बल्कि बड़े पैमाने पर होने वाले श्रमिक पलायन पर भी प्रभावी रोक लगेगी और राज्य को पहली बार उच्च प्रौद्योगिकी विनिर्माण से जोड़ा जा सकेगा। इसलिए मैं सरकार से यह आग्रह करता हूं कि बिहार में सेमीकंडक्टर हब और एकीकृत औद्योगिक पार्कों की स्थापना हेतु केंद्र राज्य उद्योग साझेदारी के माध्यम से लक्षित कर प्रोत्साहन, पूंजीगत सब्सिडी तथा प्लग एंड प्ले बुनियादी ढांचा उपलब्ध कराया जाए। साथ ही बिहार को राष्ट्रीय सेमीकंडक्टर एवं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स विनिर्माण रोड मैप के में औपचारिक और स्पष्ट रूप से शामिल किया जाए, ताकि बिहार जो लगातार छूटा हुआ है विकास के रोड मैप से, उसको सेंटर स्टेज में लाने की कोशिश हो। बहुत धन्यवाद।
श्रीमती रजनी अशोक राव पाटिल जी।
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष जी। अन्नदाता जो इस देश का सबसे प्रमुख घटक है, जिसका प्रमाण हमारे देश में 65% 65% से ज्यादा है, उस अन्नदाता के बारे में मैं बात करना चाहती हूँ। ये अन्नदाता जो है, जिसको हम किसान बोलते हैं, वो हमेशा उपेक्षित रहा है और उसके लिए हमें मदद करने की आवश्यकता है। मैं मेरे क्षेत्र के, मराठवाड़ा क्षेत्र के किसानों की बात करना चाहती हूँ। वहाँ पे इतना घटनाएं घटती है कि आत्महत्याओं का प्रमाण सबसे ज्यादा अगर हिंदुस्तान में है तो हमारे मराठवाड़ा में है। मेरे खुद के बीड डिस्ट्रिक्ट में कम से कम 250 से ज्यादा लोगों ने इस साल आत्महत्या की है। वही समस्या हमारी मराठवाड़ा, विदर्भ, इस एरिया की है। सर, मैं बताना चाहती हूँ, हम अमृतकाल बोलते हैं इस देश को, कि सरकार बोलता है अमृतकाल, लेकिन किसानों के लिए विषकाल हो गया है। उनको जब तक विष नहीं पीते हैं तब तक उनको मुक्ति नहीं मिलती है। ये सही है और सच बात है। सर, कभी अकाल आता है, कभी बहुत सारा पानी आता है, जिससे हमारी जमीन खराब हो जाती है, नान उपजाऊ का कम हो जाता है, नापिकी हो जाती है, खेत में पीक नहीं, कर्ज जो कर्जा लेते हैं वो रिपे नहीं कर सकते, बच्चों का पढ़ाई नहीं कर सकते और लड़कियों की शादी। इस सब दुष्ट चक्र में वो हमारा किसान जूझता रहता है और उसमें उनको मौत को गले लगाने के सिवाय और कोई चारा होता नहीं है। ये हकीकत है। क्रेडिट कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी, जिला सहकारी बैंक, पत्र संस्था, बैंक, इस सब के दुष्ट चक्र में हमारा किसान अटका हुआ है और छोटी सी रकम लेता है, उसके ब्याज के ऊपर ब्याज, ब्याज के ऊपर ब्याज, ये करते 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 बेचारा थक जाता है। और तभी मुझे लगता है कि कभी कभी बड़े बड़े जो लोग हैं, उद्योजक हैं, चाहे मल्ल्या हो, नीरव मोदी हो, ललित मोदी हो, हजारों करोड़ रुपए कर्जा लेते हैं और बाहर भाग जाते हैं भगोड़े। और हमारे किसानों को तो कहीं जाना नहीं, अपने गांव में रहना है, तो गांव में रहना तो इज्जत बचा कर रहे, इसलिए उनको मौत को गले लगाना पड़ता है। इसके लिए हमें डॉक्टर स्वामीनाथन ने हमें जो दिए हैं लीगलाइज एमएसपी, जो हमारे नेता भी बार बार कह रहे थे राहुल जी कि लीगलाइज एमएसपी करना बहुत आवश्यक है, वो बहुत आवश्यक चीज है। मेरे खुद के डिस्ट्रिक्ट में 256 आत्महत्याएं हो गई, छत्रपति संभाजीनगर में 224 हो गई, नांदेड़ में 170, धाराशिव में 141, परभणी में 104, ऐसे करके कम से कम 1150 आत्महत्या इस साल में हो गई है। गए 5 साल में सबसे बड़ी आत्महत्या किसानों की हमारे एरिया में हो गई है। शेतकरी किसान जो है वो ये इतना अग्रिम क्यों हो जाता है, क्योंकि मुझे ये बताना है कि ये जब करते हैं।
सुजीत कुमार जी।
Chairman sir, I rise to request the government to consider the establishment of an independent space force to safeguard India's strategic interest in outer space. Sir, space is no longer merely scientific. It is a strategic domain. Our communications, navigation, banking, surveillance and military operations depend on space-based assets. Any disruption in orbit can cripple national security on the ground. Our government, under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has demonstrated our capabilities with the creation of the Defence Space Agency in 2019 and the Defence Space Research Organization. Sir, today, ISRO's achievements command global respect. The historic success of Anti-Satellite Missile Test, ASAT, has established India as a credible space power. Along with all these achievements, sir, an independent space force is also a strategic necessity today. Our greatest strategic adversary, China, operates a dedicated strategic support force. US established its space force in 2019, so we cannot afford institutional complacency when other nations are recognizing our space dominance, sir. Sir, the Defence Space Agency that we have today is an important first step, but it remains transitional. It functions within the existing tri-service structure and is headed by officers on rotation and does not yet possess an independent cadre, a permanent doctrine authority or full unity of command over space operations. Our dependence on space is accelerating. With phase 3 surveillance systems and dozens of military satellites planned, protecting our space assets will soon require continuous dedicated military operations. Space warfare is fundamentally different, sir. It demands specialized doctrine, dedicated career officers, continuous situational awareness and seamless coordination with ISRO and industry. Overstressed traditional commands cannot manage this indefinitely. Therefore, sir, I request the government to constitute a high-level committee to examine options for an independent space force and space warfare academy and submit recommendations at the earliest. We can wait for the first silent war to disable our economy, or we can ensure that no such war is ever fought. Sir, we need this force not to win a war in the stars, but rather we need it so that we never lose one on the ground. Thank you.
Okay. श्रीमान प्रमोद तिवारी जी।
मैं आपका आभारी हूं कि एक बहुत ही मानवीय प्रश्न पर आपने मुझे अपनी बात रखने का मौका दिया। ये सीधे सीधे नेता सदन से जुड़ा हुआ है। मैं नेता सदन का ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। 2013 में 8 अक्टूबर को श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी जब रायबरेली से सांसद थी, यूपीए के चेयरपर्सन के तौर पे यूपीए 2 में एम्स की आधारशिला रखी गई थी रायबरेली में। मैं इस संदर्भ में आपसे 2 बार मिल भी चुका हूं। आज 12 साल से ज्यादा बीत जाने के बाद अब तक पूर्ण क्षमता के साथ आमजन की स्वास्थ्य सेवाएं प्रदान करने में पूर्ण सक्षम नहीं हो पाया है एम्स रायबरेली, जबकि ये संस्थान उत्तर प्रदेश के मध्यांचल क्षेत्र के साथ साथ बिहार और मध्य प्रदेश के कई हिस्से की बड़ी आबादी के लिए जीवन रक्षक एवं उन्नत चिकित्सा सेवाओं का प्रमुख केंद्र बनने की क्षमता रखता है। एक वानगी देखें, प्रारंभ में 960 बेड 960 बेड का प्रारूप था, 610 बेड। सीनियर डॉक्टर्स के संख्या में भारी कमी है। मैं एक वानगी देता हूं, 200 सीनियर रेजिडेंट डॉक्टर्स की पोस्ट है और 37 है, 37 200 के अनुपात में 37। एम्स रायबरेली की स्थिति इसलिए और अधिक चिंताजनक है कि उस संस्थान में प्रोफेसर के 33 पद स्वीकृत है, 33 और 7 नियुक्तियां हैं। मनवरी राजनैतिक विद्वेष की भावना से इससे ज्यादा कुछ दुखद नहीं हो सकता, जबकि 26 पद रिक्त पड़े हुए हैं। इसी प्रकार एडिशनल प्रोफेसर के 26 में से केवल 5 नियुक्तियां हुई हैं। कुल मिलाकर संस्थान में फैकल्टी के 201 पद स्वीकृत हैं और 85 पद रिक्त हैं, 85 पद रिक्त हैं। ये शैक्षणिक और चिकित्सक सेवाओं की गुणवत्ता पर निरंतर प्रतिकूल प्रभाव डाल रहा है। स्थिति ये है कि देश में जब अन्य संस्थान इसके बाद आए वो बना दिए गए, पर ये चूंकि मैं तो इसे कहूंगा राजनीतिक विद्वेष से नहीं किया जा रहा है रायबरेली। मानवर मैं एक बार फिर कहना चाहता हूं, 1626 मेडिकल एवं नॉन मेडिकल स्टाफ के अगेंस्ट 450, 1200 से अधिक कर्मचारियों के खिलाफ 174, 108 टाइप 2 मकान की जगह टोटल 2006। अच्छा, सबसे दुखद है कि जो 2260 का बजट आया है उसमें इसके लिए धन नहीं रखा गया। इसीलिए मेरी चिंता ज्यादा है। कम से कम अस्पताल, चिकित्सा, शिक्षा राजनीति से अलग हटके करना चाहिए। सिर्फ इसलिए कि श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी ने एक बड़ा कदम, अच्छा कदम उठाया
श्रीमान
और
नारायण साह के पांडा के जी,
आप तो इन सबसे ऊपर हैं।
श्रीमान नारायण साह के पांडे के जी।
धन्यवाद माननीय सभापति महोदय, आपने मुझे बोलने का मौका दिया। मैं एक अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण और गौरवपूर्ण विषय पर आपका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। सभापति महोदय, मेरे जिले बागलकोट में हमें छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज और जगत ज्योति बसवेश्वर महाराज की प्रतिमा स्थापित करने के लिए रोका जा रहा है। ये बड़ी ही दुर्भाग्य और दुखद विषय है। बागलकोट नगर पालिका 2 बार सर्वसम्मति से प्रस्ताव का पास किया और जगह भी निर्धारित की गई, और उस जगह निर्धारित होने के बाद तमाम एनओसी लिए गए, पीडब्ल्यूडी का, पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट का और इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का, सबका एनओसी भी मिल गया। निर्धारित जगह पर भूमि पूजन का भी हो गया। उस भूमि पूजन के वक्त सभी जनप्रतिनिधि, कॉर्पोरेटर भी उपस्थित थे और नगर पालिका के सभी सदस्य उपस्थित थे, आयुक्त उपस्थित थे और हिंदू समाज के सभी गणमान्य लोग भी उपस्थित थे। जन सहयोग के लगभग 60 लाख रुपए खर्च करके निर्मित 18 फीट के 2 प्रतिमाओं के तैयार है और उसी जगह उस प्रतिष्ठापित करने के लिए प्लेटफॉर्म भी तैयार किया गया है। जब हमने प्रतिमा स्थापित करने के लिए निकला तब हमें जिला प्रशासन से रोका गया और आज भी रोका जा रहा है। इसके लिए हमने 2 बार जिला प्रशासन से मिले, कलेक्टर से भी मिले और राज्यपाल महोदय से भी मिलकर इसके ऊपर अवगत करवाया गया। यह प्रतिमा क्षेत्र का गौरव का प्रतीक बनेगी, युवाओं के लिए एक प्रेरणा पुंज बनेगी। कर्नाटक सरकार का यह प्रतिरोध सनातन धर्म का विरोधी है, हिंदू धर्म का विरोध है, श्रद्धा केंद्र का विरोधी है और छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज का अपमान है। सभापति महोदय, मैं आपसे निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि 19 फरवरी को छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज का जन्म उत्सव पर उसी प्रतिमा का उसी जगह पर अनावरण करे, इसके लिए आपका हस्तक्षेप और सहयोग चाहता हूं। मैं आपके माध्यम से अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि आप कर्नाटक सरकार को इस विषय पर त्वरित कार्रवाई के लिए दिशा निर्देशन जारी कराए। छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की जय।
डॉक्टर विक्रमजीत सिंह सगानी जी, डॉक्टर एम तनबाल जी।
Honorable Chairman Sir, I rise to draw the attention of the August House that the Government of India has been implementing several important social security schemes with the objective of ensuring protection and dignity for the most vulnerable sections of the society. These include the Indira Gandhi National Old Age Pension Scheme, Widow Pension Scheme, PMAY, etc., and the Annapurna scheme, which provides food support. Eligibility under all these schemes is primarily linked to beneficiaries being classified as below poverty line. The BPL is presently being used for determining eligibility is based on a survey conducted nearly 15 years ago. Since then, there have been significant changes in the country's demography and socio-economic conditions. Population growth, rising cost of living, unemployment and livelihood insecurity have substantially altered the poverty profile. As a result, many genuinely deserving and vulnerable individuals are excluded from the existing BPL list. This situation has affected the effective delivery of welfare benefits, preventing these crucial schemes from reaching the intended beneficiaries. Therefore, it has become absolutely essential to undertake fresh and comprehensive nationwide survey to reassess poverty levels and to prepare an updated BPL list reflecting present realities. Further, considering steep rise in prices of basic necessities, the annual income ceiling prescribed for defining poverty line also needs to be revised in realistic manner. I therefore urge the government to take urgent steps to conduct a fresh enumeration exercise and revise the poverty line criteria so that social welfare schemes truly benefit to the poorest and deserving sections of the society. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Sasmit Patraji.
Sir, on behalf of my party, the Biju Janata Dal, and our Honorable Leader Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, I focus on 3 key pillars for the holistic infrastructural development of southern Odisha's districts. It can be considered as a package which should really improve the overall development. These 3 pillars are railways, national highways and airports. I start with the rail. For the Ganjam district, the railway wagon technology park at Sitarapalli, the Gopalpur to Raigada new line, the Brahmapur to Sambalpur line via Hinjli to Aska to Pulbani, and the modernization of Brahmapur railway station are extremely crucial. For Gajapati district, the Naupada to Gunupur to Theruvali second line is becoming very important. For Kandhamal district, the Brahmapur to Sambalpur line going through Pulbani and the Khorda to Bolangir line that has been languishing for years need to be stabilized and expedited primarily through the Kandhamal belt. For Raigada district, the Gurupur to Theruvali new line and the Vijayanagaram to Titlagarh third line are required and is necessary now. For Koraput district, the Jaipur to Navrangpur, Jaipur to Malkangiri and the Kota-Valasa Koraput doubling are equally important. I come to Navrangpur district, a very important district of southern Odisha. The Junagadh to Navrangpur, and the Jaipur-Nabarangpur lines are crucial that are delayed. Further, for Malkangiri district, the Jaipur to Malkangiri and Malkangiri to Pandurangapuram lines are necessary and work is yet to start. I come to the second pillar, Honorable Chairman, sir, national highways. In Ganjam district, the four-laning of the National Highway 157, starting from Brahmapur to Phulbani to Bodh to Sambalpur, is very crucial. It is still very narrow, has to be four-laned. Brahmapur to Koraput, Lordship, the highway is extremely important, and that work is yet to be expedited. In Gajapati, the Vijayawada to Ranchi economic corridor is important for the tribal communities staying there. In Kandhamal, the widening of the National Highway 157 Ghat sections at Kalinga, Phulbani and Rani Pathar is important. Many precious lives are lost because of accidents regularly. In Raigada, the Vijayawada to Ranchi corridor stretch and the Palasa to Parlakamundi to Raigada to Bhavanipatna road will be the corridor from the east coast right up to the western part of Odisha. I come to Koraput, National Highway 26, Borigumma to Jaipur, and the Jaipur-Kotpad bypasses are delayed. Work needs to expedite. I come to Nabarangpur. The Nabarangpur-Koksarai is delayed. Malkangiri, the Malkangiri to Motu corridor is delayed. Has to be expedited. The last 7 seconds, Rangai-Linda Brahmapur Airport needs to be expedited. I hope the government will take action. Thank you.
Dr. John Britas ji.
Thank you very much, sir. This is to bring an important matter to the attention of this August House, sir. So there is a mounting nationwide concern regarding the retrospective implementation of the teachers' eligibility test criteria, which will adversely affect tens of thousands of in-service school teachers appointed prior to RTE Act 2009, sir. So I will just give the details in a nutshell, sir. So Supreme Court in 2025 adjudicated that by interpreting Section 23 of RTE Act, it said that TET, that is eligibility test, constitutes a mandatory minimum qualification not only for the fresh recruits but also for those teachers who have been appointed prior. That means giving a retrospective effect to it, sir. Sir, this has created so much of havoc. Now, sir, the Supreme Court also said that if at all they don't pass the TET, they would be asked to retire in a compulsory mode, sir. Sir, teachers with less than 5 years of remaining service were granted limited relief, but this is only limited. They would be ineligible for promotion, sir. Sir, I do accept any standards that are being brought in to enhance the quality of the education, sir. But interpreting a section and making it retrospective, that's not fair, sir. That's not fair. Sir, it is going to affect thousands and thousands of teachers in this country, sir. Sir, already the plight of the school education in this country. You know, sir, in government sector alone, last 3-4 years, 18,727 schools were closed down, mostly in states like Bihar, UP, Himachal, etc. Sir, if you look at the vacancies that exist in the education front, sir, you know what is the number of vacancies? 3,57,862 as per the Unified District Information System, which is maintained by the Government of India. And can I tell you, sir, out of these vacancies, 1,93,000 vacancies exist in Uttar Pradesh alone, sir. Please understand, sir. Sir, my concern is that we need to make sure that this section shouldn't be applied on a retrospective manner. Sir, there are instances when Supreme Court interpreted legislations in such a manner. Either the government will clarify it or will come with a draft legislation which would be debated in this House. I urge upon the government to make sure that the teachers are given justice. Thank you, sir.
Sriman A.D. Singh ji.
Chairman sir. Chairman sir.
You promise.
Sir, Chairman sir.
Honorable Leader of Opposition, please don't raise anything concerned with the other house. Please don't raise the same point. You can raise any new thing.
No, I will, sir. I am raising only concerning about the Constitution. Sir, as I already pointed out, our House and also Lok Sabha both consist Parliament, and the Constitution recognizes these two houses, and we have to run according to the procedure, rules and constitutional procedures. Therefore, I request you to run properly. We have to follow certain things, and that is what I said. Sir, leader of the opposition in the lower house.
No. This will not go on record. We will not be able to discuss
allowed to speak
about the other house or the thing that cannot be taken into account. I have already quoted Jawaharlal Nehruji's quotation, what he said about that. So, I am not allowing anything. Now we are going to question number 91. Dr. K. Lachmanji.
Question number 91, sir.
Honorable Minister.
Sir, a statement is laid on the table of the House, sir.
Now, Dr. Lachmanji, first supplementary, please.
Sir, under the visionary leadership of our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, the coal sector, public sector unions, public sector undertakings have recorded strong capital investment movement. During the first quarter of financial year 2025-26, PSUs together achieved about 114% of their targeted capital expenditure, reflecting timely and effective execution. Through Singareni College Company Limited, Telangana continues to benefit from sustained investments, employment generation, infrastructure development, strengthening both regional growth and national energies. Through you, sir, I would like to know, could the minister share the specific benefits including infrastructure development, skill creation and employment opportunities that these capex initiatives have generated in coal production regions like Telangana, particularly in enhancing local economic growth and supporting community well-being?
I am respecting him more than what you are. Don't try to teach the share. Don't try to teach the share. I know I am respecting him more than what you are respecting. I am always respecting him.
Yes, sir.
Please, Honorable Minister.
Sir, capital expenditure at any given point of time in any particular sector, including the country overall, is a very good indicator of the kind of progress that is being made. Sir, I would like to reiterate what the honourable member has said insofar as the coal sector is concerned. Sir, the capital expenditure incurred by the public sector coal units.
No, I will not allow you. I am not allowing you.
Year on year, they have always succeeded in exceeding their targets. And last year, sir, it was 140% more than the targeted amount.
Nothing should go on record. Nothing should go on record except the minister's answer.
Sir, the issue today is that apart from the 31,000 crores of capital expenditure that has been incurred in fiscal year 24-25, we should see that it has gone up from 2020-21 when it was 17,500 crores. It has gone to 31,500 crores in these 2 years. Sir, in addition, the country has witnessed record production of coal. It has crossed 1 billion tons of coal production for the last time, and it has gone up from something like 500 million tons to over 1,000 million tons, sir. This has resulted in reduction of imports. Sir, apart from the capital expenditure incurred by the PSUs in the coal sector, I would also like to add that the budget which was presented by the Honourable Finance Minister indicated a massive increase in capital expenditure for the country overall. Sir, in 2014, the country's budget provided for something like 2 lakh crores by way of capital expenditure. Last year, sir, it had gone up to 11 lakh crores. And some people like me used to wonder, will we be able to absorb and spend 11 lakh crores? So this year the capital expenditure has gone up by to 12 lakh crores. Add to that, sir, what is made available to the states through the Finance Commission, and you will see that's another 4 lakh 50,000 crores. It's something like 17 lakh crores. Then you add the sectoral capex by the PSUs. You have 30,000, 31,000 crores by the coal PSUs. Sir, in my own sector, the oil sector, the OMCs, our PSUs are called oil marketing companies.
You should maintain
also
the discipline in the house, then I am allowing anything. You don't have that discipline.
1 lakh 20 crore by way of capital. So it's a massive amount of capital expenditure which is being incurred in the country. Sir, this sustained overachievement from targets, despite coal sector being marred with various bottlenecks, makes the coal sector PSUs amongst the top performing PSUs in the country. Sir, insofar as the state of Telangana is concerned, as my honorable members are, one of the companies there, which is a PSU, is incurring at an annual 1,600 crores a year by way of
Please go back to your seats.
capital expenditure. This results in both direct and indirect employment. In fact, some various sums have been done.
No, please, go back to your seats. Continue. Honorable Minister, you please continue.
Sir, whenever capital expenditure is incurred, no matter in which sector, infrastructure is built, modernization takes place, jobs are created directly and indirectly. In the case of the facility in Telangana, sir, I think if I remember correctly, they are employing 42,000 people directly and another 16,000 or so by way of contract workers. So it is direct and indirect employment. Sir, in capital expenditure, you used cement, steel, so the production goes up, employment there goes up. All in all, I can say, sir, that overall in the country, you can see, apart from the central government's allocation of capital expenditure, which has gone up to 12.2 lakh crores, what is going to the states through the Finance Commission, another 4.5 lakh crores. What is being done by the companies in the coal sector, sir, 31,000 crores. And I would also like to add, sir, 18% of the coal production in the country is in the private sector. They are also incurring capex. So it's a situation in which the capital expenditure is contributing to the overall economic activity in the state, in the country also overall. And this has resulted in mining expansion and mechanization, first mile connectivity, railway sidings and logistics, thermal power capacity, renewable energy and coal gasification, and what is most important in a sector like coal, sir, it also helps in employee welfare and infrastructure, sir.
Second supplementary, Dr. K. Lakshmanji.
Sir, my second supplementary is very specific and pertinent, sir. Whether the investment in renewable energy by coal PSUs indicate a structured transition strategy rather than ad hoc diversification.
No. Sir, nobody can force the chair. Nobody has the right to force the chair.
Sir, I think that's a very relevant question which the honourable member has asked, and I think the answer is also very clear, sir. In a sector like coal,
nothing will go on record except the minister's answer.
Sir, in a sector like coal, one has to ensure both safety, the cleaning of the current processes, and then also last mile connectivity and also then transition, sir. And I think it's a very relevant question is asked, sir. In the diversification into renewable energy, the coal PSUs have already installed about 2 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity and have a strong pipeline of about 22 gigawatts across solar, wind, hybrid and solar projects. The NLCIL, Neyveli Lignite, leads with 1.6 gigawatts installed renewable capacity, over 2 gigawatts under implementation, and a long-term plan of 10 gigawatts by 2030. Also, sir, NLCIL, that's in Neyveli Lignite, CIL, is the first central PSU to cross 1 gigawatt and has achieved net zero. Also, sir, the same company is developing a 250 megawatt or 500 megawatt edge battery energy storage system. Sir, I could go on giving the contribution that the coal sector companies are doing for energy diversification.
But I think this is captured and it is leading to transition. But clearly, sir, in a country which is on the move, if you look at the sustainability transition, sir, when the Honorable Prime Minister assumed responsibility in May 2014, we were only blending 1.4% of biofuels. Today, it has come to 20% biofuels. If you look at the area of green hydrogen, sir, we have a target of 5 million 5 million tons by 2030, and I believe even that will be met. So the question that the honourable member has asked and the details I have given about the green energy, or rather this diversification into renewable energy, these are all very valid. I personally feel, sir, there was a debate when you said close down coal, close down fossil fuel. There was an international thing that, you know, we should move straight to renewable energies. But, sir, to move from the current situation to renewable energy, which must be available, and I have seen global estimates, sir, whether it's in the International Energy Agency or the BP Outlook, they say that our coal demand is going to increase in the next few years. In fact, it's saying by 2030 or so, it should go up by 17%. So while simultaneously we are cleaning the processes in coal, simultaneously whilst we are producing more, saving foreign exchange, we are also doing green energy, movement into solar energy. There is also a lot of work being done on coal gasification, coal bed methane, and the other areas. I thank you, sir.
Third supplementary, Dr. Lakshmikant Vajpayee ji.
माध्यम से माननीय मंत्री से जानना चाहता हूं, what is the capital expenditure performance of the coal PSUs over recent year, and how the Ministry of Coal stands in the comparison of other ministries in terms of capex achievements?
Honorable Minister. Sir, insofar as the coal ministry is concerned, sir, with all humility, I say that I am standing in for my colleague, Shri Kishan Reddy ji, who couldn't be here today. I want to pay him a compliment that in relation to the other ministries, the coal ministry has done very well. It has incurred 31,500 crores of capital expenditure, very good. But sir, with all modesty at my command, the coal sector is very different from others. So I should not compare that with the capital expenditure which my ministry, petroleum and natural gas, the ministry with which I am associated, ours is higher. It's about 4 times, 1,20,000. But sir, our operations are much larger. And I think it's very creditable for the coal ministry to have 31,000 crores as capital expenditure, and it is visible. It is visible in the last mile connectivity. It is visible in the railway processing. It is visible in the solar energy transition that they are making. Their companies, there are only 3 companies, sir, as far as I know, and all 3 of them are doing very well on capital expenditure. And to answer my colleague, the honourable member, they are doing very well in comparison to other public sector companies which are under different ministries. Yeah.
Fourth supplementary, Shriman Brijlal ji.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. My question from Honorable Minister, whether the investment in renewable energy by coal PSUs indicate a structured transition strategy rather than an ad hoc diversification. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister. Sir, it is a structured strategy. What invariably happens, sir, is that all PSUs, the ones I am familiar with, which are dealing with the energy sector, they declare a date for net zero. The companies with which I am more familiar, like the oil marketing companies, they have about a net zero target by 2040 or 2045. So when you adopt a strategy, it has to lead in that direction. That you start a process now. Now I know in the coal sector, some of those net zero targets are a little closer. They are in 2030. So if you look at the overall figures, they may appear small now. But sir, if you look at the solar energy supply chain, it also is very cumbersome. So I am very confident. One, I can be very sure it is a consciously thought through strategy. It's not something that is done ad hoc. If there is a strategy to become net zero by a particular year.
2070 power.
No, 2070 is a national target. My senior colleague Manohar ji just reminded me, totally correct. Sir, we set a national
target of net zero by 2070. When the Honorable Prime Minister went to Glasgow, I think, at around that time when we took the 5 commitments, 2070 people said it's too far. No, for a country like India, which has great developmental challenges and which has been traditionally dependent on different fossil fuels, etc. So when I was associated with the Petroleum and Natural Gas Ministry, our daily consumption of crude oil was 5 million barrels a day. Today it is 5.6 million barrels. As we go forward, it will go up to 6 and 6.5 million barrels. Similarly, say for our companies, if they declare 2040, ONGC, IOCL, etc., it's a very bold target. Including in the coal sector, they are very bold targets. It may appear that the start is a little slow, but it's a structured strategy, and as we go along and clear the cobwebs, these diversification or movement into clean energy will be cleaned up. They have always, all of them have been very consciously, whether even if a company is located in Telangana, it's not that it is doing capex in Telangana and providing jobs, 1,600 crores, but this company is also doing solar projects in the rest of the country. Thank you, sir.
Fifth supplementary, Ms. Dolasanji.
Thank you, Chairman, sir, for giving me chance. Sir, through you, I want to communicate the Union Government Treasury Bench that coal is our national asset, but they are trying to disinvest and privatize badly this coal sector and the coal PSUs by any means according to their policy decision. I want to ask that whether it's Atmanirbharata at all, where our national assets are being sold to corporates and the foreign companies even, and it's affecting the nationalized coal industry and coal PSUs and the workers as well. How much capital expenditure and clean energy investments you do for coal PSUs, that doesn't matter. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister.
Sir, I am very intrigued when I have a question which is both a question and then there is an answer in the tail which says how much capital expenditure you do, it doesn't matter. But there are some other aspects to which my honorable colleague and friend has referred to, that national assets are being sold to corporate this thing. No, 1 minute, let's slow down. If there are 3 PSUs, one is called Coal India Limited, the other one is Singaneri Collieries and Coal and Colliers, the third one is Neyveli Lignite. Are these foreign corporate assets? So these are owned by our own people, and they are the people who are doing this thing. They are the ones who are doing this thing. Insofar as the coal sector is concerned, I must say, my little education in the last 2 days, it's not just the coal PSUs which are doing this thing. There are also private sector people who are running. There are about 86 private projects which are going, and I am not aware, sir, in my long history, 9th year in the Honorable Prime Minister's team, or 39 years as a civil servant, I don't recall of any privatization of the coal PSUs. So I don't know what the honourable member is talking about, that we are selling the assets of the coal PSUs to corporate interests or to this thing. Yes, a little bit of illegal mining, not little, quite a lot of illegal mining takes place. That is in spite of us. That is, people go elsewhere. But now land is a state subject, sir. But because of the inherently dangerous nature of coal mining, which is below ground, etc., a centre's clearance is required. So I want to categorically state, the central government has not, and I say it categorically with my limited knowledge of the sector, we have not sold any assets to corporate entities. I don't recall, I don't think there's ever been a privatization of coal PSUs, etc. And the 3 of them, CIL and LCL, etc., they have all been working, and their capital expenditure targets have gone up. So in one case, last year it had gone up by 140% over the existing target, and I also gave the figures in reply to an earlier supplementary, how it has increased from 22, 23, etc. So I think it's a happy story in the coal sector. Yes, we should do away. I mean, she referred to coal as a national asset. But if you are an environmentalist, you should say, by slowly use your coal, produce more, which we are doing. We are importing less. We are saving 60,000 crores, I think, on foreign exchange because of lessening of imports. And today we are in the happy situation. We are also making the transition to solar energy and other
cleaner energy, sir.
Now question number 92, Shriman Rajendra Gupta ji.
Not present.
The third supplementary, Dr. Ajit Kopchade ji.
ऊर्जा सुरक्षा को मजबूत करने और आम नागरिकों का अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में कच्चे तेल की कीमत होने के वाले उतार चढ़ाव से बचाने के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में केंद्र सरकार लगातार ठोस और राष्ट्रहित में निर्णय ले रही है। मैं माननीय मंत्री जी को ये पूछना चाहता हूं कि क्या सरकार ने भविष्य में सरकार कच्चे तेल के रणनीतिक भंडार की तरह द्रवीकृत पेट्रोलियम गैस जिसे एलपीजी कहते हैं उसके लिए रणनीतिक या बफर भंडारण की व्यवस्था विकसित करने का कोई निर्णय लिया है और ऐसा कोई प्रस्ताव विचाराधीन है और रणनीतिक पेट्रोलियम भंडारों का उपयोग अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कच्चे तेल की कीमतों में उतार चढ़ाव के प्रभाव को कम करने के लिए क्या किया जा रहा है? यदि हाँ तो आम उपभोक्ताओं के हितों को ध्यान में रखते हुए एलपीजी, पेट्रोल और डीजल की कीमतों को नियंत्रण में रखने के लिए माननीय मंत्री जी और मंत्रालय द्वारा वर्तमान में कौन कौन से ठोस और दीर्घकालिक कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं?
Honorable Minister.
Sir, this specific question, start question priority 2, is on the issue of our strategic petroleum reserves. Sir, for any country, and particularly a large country like India, and a country which is growing at a phenomenal pace, the economic growth, one quarter it was 8.2%, sir, previous quarter it was 7.8%, and according to the IMF, which has enhanced our expected rate of economic growth from 6.6 to 7.3%, the country must have a very viable and secure reserve so that in the case of global turbulence, etc., we should not be found in a vulnerable situation. Fortunately, sir, India has a vast coastline both on the west and the east. We have several refineries on the west coast, sir, starting with Nazaria, RIL in Jamnagar, Mumbai. We have Mangalore, we have Kochi on the western coast. We have Chennai, Tatipaka, Vizag, Paradeep, Barauni, Haldia on the eastern coast. Sir, according to the International Energy Agency, and I'm only mentioning the vast coastline and our this thing, because today we are the world's third largest consumer of crude oil. We have the world's fourth largest reserve refining capacity, currently around 260 million metric tons per annum, going on to 320 million metric tons per annum. And we are also the world's fifth largest exporter of petroleum product. Now, the strategic petroleum reserve is designed to ensure that in case of total global turbulence, in case supplies cannot reach either from the western coast or the eastern coast, we must have enough stock left in order to meet that. Now, fortunately for India, sir, we are also a domestic producer. When I say we are the fifth largest exporter, God forbid, if there was to be an eventuality where no supplies are reaching, we would obviously not then export. We would also utilize our domestic consumption for domestic production for domestic consumption. Sir, the International Energy Agency stipulates that there should be about 90 days of holding as a strategic petroleum reserve. But I also want to point out, sir, these are estimates largely relevant. I'm choosing my words carefully. I'm not saying they are not relevant for others. 90 days largely relevant for OECD countries, also smaller OECD countries. You know, when there was a global crisis and there was total volatility, the IEA, International Energy Agency based in Paris, it stipulated that countries which had large reserves, they should release some in order to stabilize the global price. So which are the countries which release stocks in differing quantities from their stocks? One was the United States, the other was India, and third was China, and the fourth, I think if I recall correctly, was Japan. So we are in the happy situation that we were able to rise to the situation. Today, sir, we calculate our reserves not only what is in the caverns, and these are in 3 places. I can't go into precise details, although some people speculate. They are in the states of Andhra Pradesh, in the state of Karnataka, and the third one we are hoping to
get started, sir, in Odisha soon. Together, if you look at the reserves in the caverns and what is held by us in our refineries and what is on floating platforms at our ports, together and our products, it comes to 74 days. Ideally, it should be 90, but I feel at least as the line minister safe with something like 74 days, and going forward, we can even consider raising it. The honorable member also raised the issue of price volatility. Sir, this particular question relates to the period 2015 to 2022. So that period between 2015 and 22 is the pre-COVID period. And it also covers the COVID period and till 2022 when COVID was mercifully on its way out. Sir, we filled the current stock at that time, at 2015 to 22, at prices which I may say, because normally we don't discuss the price at which we buy oil, at roughly 50% of the prevailing price today, which is, sir, very creditable. Because you bought it at 50% of the correct price. Now you would be making a mistake if you were to buy crude at a price and then, it drops, and then you'd say, well, there you made a mistake. You should have waited to buy. So there is always a balance involved. I'm very happy to inform this House through you, sir, that we have been able to weather the international turbulence thanks to the far-sighted and visionary policies of the Honorable Prime Minister. We have been able to ensure availability, affordability and sustainability, the trilemma of energy. And today, whether it is a question of biofuels, a reference was made in the question also to liquefied petroleum gas, our production is going up. We are also signing international arrangements. When the president of the UAE, he was here recently, sir, we signed another deal with them. We are importing about, I think, $9 billion worth of natural gas from them. We're also importing from Qatar, from other countries. Also, sir, we have a situation on petroleum gas, liquefied petroleum gas, which is a cylinder gas, which is a product of a refinery. We also signed an agreement with the United States, sir, for buying 10% of our requirements from there. So overall, sir, the strategic petroleum reserve is a very important component in our economic security. And economic security means that a democratically elected government, and the Prime Minister feels particularly responsible to the common man, the Aam Aadmi, that the prices should be at lowest level, and they are lower today than in most parts of the world. In fact, cooking gas has been supplied, I got the note in hand, cooking gas, which is in cylinders, sir, there was, in 2014, we had 14 crore connections. And if 1 crore connection is for a family, it's gone up to 33 lakh connection. And if there are 4 people in a family, we've virtually saturated the country. In addition to that, that is being supplied to Ujjwala beneficiaries, sir, for as little as 5 rupees in a day. And if the beneficiary is not an Ujjwala beneficiary, but a non-beneficiary, he or she is also getting it in his or her kitchen for as little as 13-14 rupees per day. This is a very reasonable price. Our oil marketing companies incurred a loss in doing that, but we compensated them, and with God's grace, sir, they're all doing well. So all in all, sir, this is a very important component of our energy security, strategic petroleum reserve, and it has worked very well. The 74 days of stockholding we do, sir, we just don't keep it there. 50% of it is also available for trading. And if there were to be a requirement, Government of India would have the first claim on it. But because if you keep too much of stuff in your godown or basement, then it seems unproductive. But we use 50% of this also to supply the country's needs and for trading. Thank you, sir.
Next supplementary, Shriman Mastan Rao Yadav Bidaji.
Thank you for giving me opportunity to raise a supplementary question, sir. So the recent discovery of natural gas reserves in Andaman offshore area has therefore generated expectation of strengthening domestic production. In this context, I would like to ask the Honourable Minister through you, sir, whether any timeline has been set for the full appraisal of these reserves and be brought into production so that the development process can be commenced with the aim of reducing import dependence from other countries, sir. Thank you, sir.
Honourable Minister.
The honourable member for asking this question. Whenever a Petroleum Natural Gas Minister appears for an examination, he is hoping this is the question which is asked, because it also provides us an opportunity. But before I go to the Andaman Nicobar Islands discoveries or the Krishna Godavari bases or Mumbai High, I just want to make a few comments by way of an introduction. Sir, petroleum and natural gas exploration and production is by definition a long-term process. It has a big gestation period and it is heavily capital intensive. In the years between 2006 and 16, sir, when another government was in office, no work was done on exploration and production, sir. We were in the unhappy situation that people used to give us pious homilies and preach, why do you want to do E&P? There is enough gas and oil available in the global market. It's cheaper to buy. Sir, I don't like to use language like this, but it is very, very clear that these were people representing some other interest. They did not have the national interest at heart. So when Modi ji, the Honorable Prime Minister, assumed responsibility in the year 2014, he changed it, and from 2016, the dead decade came to an end and we started changing our policy. We went from production sharing agreements to revenue sharing agreements. And to give the honorable member an example, sir, in Guyana, which is one of the biggest finds of oil and gas in the world, they dug 46 wells, each one costing more than 100 million, 1,000 crores. It was on the 47th well that they found it. And lo, then the history changes. So insofar as the Andaman and Nicobar area is concerned, I just want to say the geographical location is such, it comes from Indonesia, right where Myanmar is, and then comes down. We have dug 3 or 4 wells there. Each time we have dug, we have found oil or gas. And we have sent it for seismic. So we have to go on doing this, because we did 17 kilometers to the west of the Andaman Islands, we found oil and gas. We did 18 kilometers to the east, we found oil and gas. But the trick, or rather the challenge, is to find where the vertical linkages are so that you can find the point at which you get the maximum economic result. Sir, this is all very expensive process, but I can share with you that the Prime Minister launched, it's well known, the Samudra Manthan program, which was announced by him, and deep water spells spudded in ANN Islands by ONGC and OIL. All of them have been successful, except that we need to do more to find out where a really big thing, because it's very high cost. And if you spend a lot of money and go into one spot, you will find you spent the money, maybe the economics are not worth it. But its area is rich, and once we find that, in fact, my ministry did a review, a presentation before the Honorable Prime Minister, not only because of the Samudra Manthan program announced by him, but his instructions to us are very clear. This is a national interest. Go ahead. 125 kuweh khodiye. And go ahead every year. So we are going to increase the number of things, no matter what the cost. Thanks to the Samudra Manthan and the budgetary outlays and our own oil marketing companies, those which are in the upstream, they will also put their resources. It is very positive, except that every time they do something, they have to report it to the Directorate General of Hydrocarbons and also to the stock market, etc. This is a process which will go on. Meanwhile, we are doing well in the Krishna Godavari basin, sir. I think the gas per day has gone up to 55,000 barrels of oil. Gas has also gone up. Bombay High, where there is a rejuvenation of the ONGC earlier facility, which was I think 1976 or so, there also BP is trying to revive it, and they're also very positive. So it's a positive outlook scenario in total terms, sir.
Fifth supplementary, Shriman Mayank Nayak ji.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. सर, पेट्रोलियम भंडारों का जो प्रश्न है उसको साथ में मेहसाना गुजरात में ओएनजीसी में पिछले कई सालों से ऑनशोर पे सबसे ज्यादा ऑयल निकालने वाला क्षेत्र है। पूरे उत्तरी गुजरात में मेहसाना, पाटन, बनासकांठा, गांधीनगर, साबरकांठा, ये सभी जिलों में सबसे ज्यादा ऑयल क्रूड निकलता है। मेरा माननीय मंत्री से पूछना है क्या सरकार द्वारा उसी क्षेत्र में कोई इंडस्ट्री, कोई रिफाइनरी लगा के वहां के लोगों का रोजगारी मिले? ऑयल वहां से पाइपलाइनों के द्वारा दूसरी जगह पे रिफाइनरी में जाती है, तो वहीं डाल के जो जाने का खर्च है वो भी सरकार का बच सके, और उस क्षेत्र में जो डेवलपमेंट और इंडस्ट्री लेवल में पिछड़े हुए पाटन, बनासकांठा वगैरह में, तो वहां ऐसी इंडस्ट्री और रिफाइनरी डालने का माननीय मंत्रालय का कोई विचार या सोच है, वो आपके माध्यम से मैं जानना चाहता हूं।
Sir, I have a map of
not
India.
belong to you or our party.
Sir, I have a map of India.
Seni is not belong to your party. No, please. Please,
Sir, I have
only 3 supplementaries.
Sir, I have a map of India in front of me, which shows all the refineries, sir, from Bathinda, Panipat, Mathura in the north, Rajasthan, Barmer, which is coming up. It has several in Gujarat and West India. And the Gujarat refinery, sir, if I may say, Nazaria is what, 20 million metric tons per annum. The Reliance in Jamnagar, one of them is 35 million metric tons, and another one is 33. Then you go to Mangalore, Kochi, Chennai, Trivandrum, all over the country. Sir, a refinery by its very definition is a very big capital investment. We already have 260 billion metric tons per annum. Now, if I were the member from Mehsana as my friend, I would also want it in my constituency. But if there are several refineries in the area, we can't multiply. Now, if I were to look at the current map, it's very evenly distributed. And the capacity of these refineries, sir, is going up to 320 million metric tons per annum in any case, through the autonomous processes which are there. And the kind of plans that I hear from our industry, they in fact show that it will go up to 400 million metric tons per annum or even higher. Sir, in a few years' time, the global scenario will be characterized by only 3 or 4 countries which will have such refineries. India is already the world's 4th largest refiner. And I think going ahead, I see these small teapot, I shouldn't call them tin pot, teapot refineries in different countries, they will no longer be viable. So India will be. But that doesn't mean, sir, that we have to proliferate them, too many in one area. So I deeply respect the sentiment of an MP who says there is oil here, therefore. Well, oil can be extracted and processed in a refinery nearby. So my humble submission is, sir, I don't think that area lends itself for another refinery now, because we've already got several in the area in Gujarat, and if you go to Western India, Mumbai, etc., we are there also. So I think we are on refineries in terms of location fairly well situated. We are only going to be increasing the capacities of some of them in order to integrate them for the production of petrochemicals and so on. I thank you very much, sir.
Question number 93, Sriman Neeraj Sagarji.
प्रश्न संख्या 93.
Honorable Minister.
Supplement is laid on the table, sir.
The first supplementary, Sriman Neeraj Sagarji.
सभापति जी, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना अर्बन के तहत सरकार ने करीब 1.25 करोड़ शहरी आवास बनाने का अपना गंतव्य रखा है, और उसमें से करीब 90 लाख आवास बन चुके हैं मार्च 2025 तक। इसके लिए मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री और माननीय मंत्री जी को बधाई देता हूं। मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से मेरा प्रश्न यह है, उत्तर प्रदेश तथा उससे जुड़े औद्योगिक क्षेत्रों में बड़ी संख्या में आवासीय आबादी को ध्यान रखते हुए PMAYU 2 के अंतर्गत किराए के आवास के लिए कौन सी विशेष प्राविधान किए गए हैं और उनका लाभ कामगारों की जमीनी स्तर पर कितना हो पाया है?
Honorable Minister.
सभापति महोदय, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने हाउसिंग फॉर ऑल, सभी के लिए आवास, इस योजना के अंतर्गत और PMAY योजना की शुरुआत ये 2015 में की थी, और जैसा हमारे आदरणीय सदस्य महोदय ने बताया है कि इस समय तक कुल 94 लाख लोगों को और मकान उपलब्ध हो चुके हैं। पहले जो योजना तय की गई थी उसके कंपोनेंट्स में 4 कंपोनेंट्स जो है वो तय किए गए थे, जिसके अंदर बेनिफिशियरी लेड स्कीम अर्थात जिनके पास अपना प्लॉट है वो गरीब आदमी भी उस प्लॉट के लिए और आर्थिक सहायता लेकर के और उस पर अपने मकान बना सकते थे। इसी प्रकार दूसरा था कि अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग इन पार्टनरशिप, जिनके पास अपना जमीन नहीं होती थी उनके लिए ऐसे वर्ग को और एक अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग स्कीम के अंतर्गत सस्ते दामों पर और वो मकान उपलब्ध कराए जाते थे। इसमें केंद्र की ओर से 1.5 लाख रुपया और ये दिया जाता था, लेकिन संयोग ऐसा कि उसके अंदर प्रदेशों का कोई अंशदान ये नहीं तय किया गया था। प्रदेश अपनी ओर से जो उसमें योगदान घोषित करना चाहते थे वो करते थे। कुछ प्रदेशों ने किया जहां अच्छी संख्या में वो लोग मकान ले करके और पब्लिक को दे सके, जिन्होंने नहीं किया वहां ये कमी रह गई थी। इसी प्रकार तीसरा जो था उसमें इंटरेस्ट सब्सिडी स्कीम, ये MIG और LIG लोगों के लिए जो अपना पैसा खर्च करके मकान बनाते थे, बैंक से लोन लेते थे, उनको इंटरेस्ट की सब्सिडी ये दी जाती थी ताकि उनको भी एक लाभ मिल सके। और अंतिम कैटेगरी थी जो इन सीटू स्लम डेवलपमेंट ISSR, अर्थात जो लोग झुग्गी झोपड़ी में बैठे थे उनके लिए इन सीटू मकान दिए जाए। संयोग ऐसा हुआ कि इन सीटू मकानों का निर्माण ये करने के लिए योजना बनी, लेकिन बहुत कम लोग ये आगे आ पाए क्योंकि झुग्गी झोपड़ी लोगों के पास उतना पैसा होता नहीं था और इसमें सरकारी सहायता भी 1 लाख रुपया थी। तो बहुत प्रदेशों ने इसमें अपनी रुचि कम दिखाई, तो इसलिए PMAY 2 में इसको बदल दिया गया और बदल करके इसमें अफोर्डेबल रेंटिंग हाउसिंग इसका प्रावधान किया ताकि लोग अपना मकान अगर नहीं भी ले सकते तो एक जितना कम से कम किराए में वो लोग रह सकते हैं उनको किराए के मकान ये उपलब्ध हो जाए। तो इस प्रकार से इस योजना में एक परिवर्तन करके और ये 2 में लाया गया। अब कठिनाई ये आई कि आखिर ये औद्योगिक क्षेत्रों में रहने वाली जो प्रवासी आबादी के जो लोग थे इनको कौन सी योजना का लाभ इसमें मिले। तो अफोर्डेबल रेंटल हाउसिंग स्कीम के अंतर्गत और ये लोग अपना लाभ उसमें उठा रहे हैं, क्योंकि बहुत से प्रवासी लोग स्थायी रूप से निवासी एक स्थान पर नहीं होते तो उनको भी संकोच होता है कि हम अपना मकान वहां न बनाएं, जब आवश्यकता हो तो यानी किराए पर हमको उपलब्ध हो जाए, तो ऐसे सस्ते किराए पर और ये मकान इनको मिले। तो इसलिए PMAY 2Y में इसका प्रावधान जो किया गया कि वर्कर को अलग से एक अफोर्डेबल रेंटल हाउसिंग स्कीम इसका वर्टिकल ये बनाया गया है और मैं समझता हूं इसका पर्याप्त लाभ उनको मिला है। और आवास का जो स्वामित्व नहीं चाहते थे अल्पकालीन अवधि के लिए उनको किराए के आवास की ये योजना इसका लाभ मिलता है।
सेकंड सप्लीमेंट्री श्रीमान नीरज सागर जी।
सभापति जी, मैं सरकार ने जो शेल्टर फॉर अर्बन होमलेस योजना के तहत परमानेंट शेल्टर बनाने की जो सराहनीय काम किया है उसके लिए मैं उनको बधाई देना चाहता हूं। मेरा दूसरा प्रश्न यह है, क्या राज्य सरकार PMAY 2 के अंतर्गत केंद्रीय सरकार, केंद्रीय सार्वजनिक क्षेत्र उपक्रमों, राज्य सार्वजनिक क्षेत्र उपक्रमों की भूमि पर झुग्गी झोपड़ी विकास परियोजनाएं प्रभावित कर सकती है? और ये इसलिए क्योंकि जो झुग्गी झोपड़ी में रहते हैं उनका जीवन बड़ा कष्टदायक होता है। अगर उनको पक्के घर मिलें तो इन जमीनों पे क्या प्रस्तावित कर सकती है आपकी योजनाएं?
ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर।
सभापति महोदय, ठीक चिंता व्यक्त की है अपने सदस्य महोदय ने कि बहुत से ऐसे लोग जो झुग्गी झोपड़ी में रहते हैं उनकी अपनी जमीनें नहीं होती, बल्कि कहीं ना कहीं एनक्रोचमेंट में अथवा झुग्गी झोपड़ी बना करके वो रहने लग गए हैं। उसमें इन सीटू बनाने के बाद भी उसमें आते नहीं हैं। BLC उसमें प्लॉट होना उनके लिए अनिवार्य है। तो बहुत सी प्रदेश सरकारें जमीन का आवंटन ऐसे व्यक्तियों को, ऐसे परिवारों को करते हैं ताकि जमीन मिल जाए तो फिर वो BLC प्रोजेक्ट के अंतर्गत भी आ सकते हैं। साथ में जो अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग स्कीम है उसमें भी उन लोगों को चूंकि अब राशि ज्यादा मिलती है, यानी PMAY 2 में पहले जहां 1.5 लाख रुपया केंद्र सरकार की ओर से दिया जाता था उसमें मैंडेटरी कर दिया गया कि 1 लाख रुपया प्रदेश सरकार भी देगी, तो 2.5 लाख रुपया उनको मिलने के बाद वो अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग जो स्कीम है उसमें भी उनको मकान मिलता है। फिर भी यदि जमीन प्रदेश सरकार देती है तो ठीक है, अन्यथा बहुत से ऐसे CPSUs हैं, SPSUs हैं जिनके पास जो जमीन में भी डील करते हैं, जमीन